Hi, my name is Vuk Stilkovic. I've spent the last half a decade as an online marketer, and today I'm going to show you a plug and play, copy and paste ad formula you can use to sell way more of your stuff online. So, I always say that the first step to a good ad or any format intended to sell anything really showing that you understand the problem that is with problem. So you need to understand the problem. Now, there are two main reasons why this is the case. Firstly, if you if you say the problem out loud, firstly it grabs attention, right? But not just any attention. It grabs attention of the right people, the people you know your product can solve the problem for, the people you know you can serve with your product. And secondly, it opens up a need for your product. Because if you were just to come up to somebody, go up to them and say, hey, there's this product I have, do you want to buy it? What are the chances they're gonna fucking buy? Pretty much zero, right? But if you say, hey, there's this problem you have, here's how I can help you fix it, or here's how my product can help you fix it, do you want to buy it? Are they gonna be more likely to buy it? Probably, yeah. So step number one is just showing them the problem, showing that you understand the problem, that you know what it is about. Step number two is where the big leagues is at. This is what every successful salesperson, marketer, and copywriter does exceptionally well, including your boy here. That is making the problem bigger, right? Making it appear bigger. Big. Here's what I mean. So imagine that I, or you for that matter, was selling a fitness or a wellness program for pregnant women. Now, the problem may start off as something like, you're pregnant and all of your hormones are in the way and all of your women stuff. And because of that, you simply don't find the time to exercise. If if we wanted to make that problem bigger, which we do want to do, we can say we can go from because you're so, I don't want to say lazy, but because you don't exercise and you spend all the time at home, you feel lazy or you feel bad about it. We can go from that to how could this lack of health, lack of exercise affect your baby? How could it affect the future child, right? So you see how we took the problem and we made it way, way bigger. Now, why the fuck is this so important? Well, it's important because you need to understand that every product, and I mean every product, is designed to solve a problem. If you walk down the pavement or walk down the street and you get hungry, right? That is a problem. And the sandwich you go and buy is the solution to it. On the other hand, something like cancer treatment is also a solution to a problem. Now, the main difference here is how big the problems are. On the one hand, you have a problem which is just you're hungry and you don't want to wait till you get home. And on the other hand, you get a problem, you're gonna probably, okay, I don't want to sound, you get the point. The problems are, the other one is this high and the other one is this, no, probably this high. Now, the thing is, that is the exact reason why a cancer treatment costs way, 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 way more than a sandwich does, right? Because the problem is so much bigger, the value is much bigger, and it just costs more for that reason. And the funny thing is, or not the funny thing, but the very interesting thing for you, or the thing you should know, is that when you solve bigger problems, first of all, just as we've concluded, you can charge more. Second of all, more people want to buy. Just think about it. How many people, like, how likely is it that somebody doesn't buy a sandwich even though they're hungry? Because they just want to wait till they get home. Sure, it's likely, but how likely is it that somebody's not going to purchase cancer treatment if they have cancer and if they can afford it? Probably a very fucking unlikely, right? Right. So that is why you need to make the problem appear as big as possible. You want to find these hidden levers to pull on to make it appear even bigger. Now, here's the tricky part. Now, most marketers and most copywriters and salespeople from here would just go to solution, right? They would go from problem to solution. That is not what we do. And here's why. Now, there is still a missing step to this. Or actually, it's additional, but in today's day and age, it does help. So the solution isn't step number 3. What is it? Now, step number 3 is going to be what I like to call, oops, the cause. My program just glitched out. I don't know why. Cause. There we go. Number 3 is going to be the cause. Now, here's what I mean by this. So, you've got the problem, you made it bigger, and want to explain the cause of the problem. Here's what I mean. So, if we go back to our example, we said our target group is pregnant women who are unhealthy, don't exercise, and uh, feel self conscious or feel bad about it. We made the problem bigger by saying, hey, I know you feel bad about it, but have you ever thought of possible ways of how this lack of exercise could affect your future child? This and this study have shown that blah 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 overweight pregnant women do this and it infects it not infects but affects their children this and this way. And they're like, holy shit, no, oh my god, I need to get my shit together, I need to do this and this and this. And now here comes the golden word. Write this the fuck down, or don't, but I would recommend it. These are what I would consider like the golden words of marketing, which is listen, it's not your fault. Now I can go in depth now I could go in depth on this, but just trust me, this is like some of the most persuasive shit you could ever say. So here's how I would do it. I would say, hey, listen, it's not your fault. And then I would direct the fault towards an outwards cause. I would say, here's exactly how I would say it. I would say, well, listen, it's not your fault. If you're like most future moms, chances are you've tried countless diets and countless workout regimens, but no matter how hard you try, you always you always go back to your old ways. Now, there's a reason for this, and it has nothing to do with lack of willpower or, I don't know, insert belief they have from watching, or because you're lazy, or because of this. It has nothing to do with these things. The reason you keep going back to those things is because you've been conditioned your whole life to like these foods. I mean, just think about it. Your whole life, for years, heck, maybe even decades, you've conditioned your taste buds and your neurons to associate sweets and all this food with pleasure. So when you cut them out immediately, when you go, I don't know, eating unhealthy, from eating unhealthy to trying to eat healthy, like in a matter of days, isn't it logical that your brain simply, or is always trying to go back to your old ways, or try to go back to eating what it perceives to be pleasure, right? So you see, the real key to succeeding with your workout plan or your weight loss journey isn't going to be a new workout plan or, I don't know, a diet, but simply con- you conditioning your neurons to not perceive the bad food as pleasure and perceive the good food as pleasure instead. It was kind of a yap fest, but keep in mind, I'm talking a shit from the top of my head, bruh. So yeah, obviously that's not as polished as it should be and as it would be if I were to do this for real, but I think you get the point. And then we transition into your product, or firstly into the solution, which I have already done. I already said, so the real solution isn't going to be a new workout plan or a new diet, but simply you conditioning your taste buds and your neurons to perceive the healthy food as pleasure, not the bad food. And then we transition, which is exactly why I've done this and this, I've created this product which can help you do exactly that. It's that simple. Now, here's the last thing I need to say. First of all of these steps and how you do these steps, it is going to depend on your industry and what you sell, who you sell it to, what product you have, and that type of stuff. Now, I could have went into so much more detail and nuance and stuff like this, but I just wanted to keep this video simple as an introduction. If you want a more complicated, more advanced stuff, pretty much a complete masterclass on selling, marketing, copywriting, etc., you can go and watch this video over here. It's gonna be somewhere over here, which is just as I said, a full masterclass selling, marketing, and copywriting. So go ahead and watch that.